Greetings and a warm welcome to everyone at home. Okay, so I hope you guys are doing just fine. All right, so today we are going to be embarking on another revision session. Okay, so siyalungiselelana guys for our June examinations. I hope the practice is coming out fine emakhaya, and I'd like to actually host you today. Sibukeke question 7 from this respective question paper. Okay, so I'm just hopeful that you're going to be learning a thing or two. Okay, from our practice sessions. Okay, and kuba ukuthi when examination comes, whatever sokhuluma ngakho la, you'll therefore apply it when it comes to examinations. Okay. So without wasting any time, we're just going to go straight to question 7.1. Okay. Determine f at prime x. Okay, siyazi ukuthi derivative of f at prime x from first principle if it is given that f at x is equals to 4 minus 7x, guys. Okay. Right, cool. So what I normally recommend, guys, when it comes to your calculations, basically from first principle, right? Ukuthi wenze derivative yakho the standard way. Okay. You don't have to include that in your answer sheet, but that will just give you an idea yokuthi yiphi answer osebenzela towards yona. Okay. So once you do that, then you know exactly ukuthi ke yiphi answer fanele ulandele imithetho ye-mathematics ukuthi ugcine itholile. All right, and then you would know definitely ke lapho ukuthi ke if ungayithola ngaleyo answer, then chances are khona iphutha olenzile. Okay. Right, so let us do our derivative the standard way quickly, guys. Okay, so f at prime x, okay, will therefore be equals to, so a derivative a constant, siyazi ukuthi ubani loyo u-0, so a derivative ka-4 u-0, right, and then Mrs. derive la, so by no 1 times negative 7, sibe no negative 7, and then x sithi 1 minus 1 kube x exponent 0, and then any number exponent 0 ba loyo u-1. So therefore derivative yakho ke here when we conducted the standard way fanele uthole bani u-negative 7. So it means sizoderive ke la using first principle, but then what we're aiming for is ubani u-negative 7, guys. All right, okay, cool. Siyazi ke thina ukuthi derivative yethu, okay, using first principle, it's whereby we're looking at our limit concept where h approaches 0, right? La khona u-f at x plus h, okay, sisusa bani, sisusa u-f at x, all right, all over h kuyiyona concept ezisinikeza ini i-derivative yethu. Okay, so we know ke ukuthi the first thing we do is we take our equation as it is. Okay, bese kuthi konke la kuno x khona, okay, si represent the equation yethu ngo x plus h. So in other words, we just take this equation as it is, sibuza ukuthi kuphi la kuno x khona, then la kuno x khona sifaka x plus h. That's the first thing esiwenza ngala ngaka lefty, bese sifaka minus, okay, and then bese sifaka f at x njobe njalo. Okay, it's important ke guys ukuthi after kufaka minus wakho ufaka ama brackets here, because this negative here will affect the entire f at x. All right, so ake senze njalo. So we'll have our limit, right, where h approaches 0, all right, where h approaches 0, okay, being equals to, so ake senze ke, so it means so bano 4 minus 7 into, lasibona khona x, faka x plus h, so x plus h, okay, minus bese kuthi la sibona khona f at x, faka njengoba njalo f at x, ama brackets ngakhohlwa, so soba no 4 minus 7x, guys. Okay, now this is all over h, guys. All right, so it's important, guys, to actually remember at this stage ukuthi our sole purpose is to eliminate lo h ulangezansi. Okay, then once I'm eliminate lo h ulangezansi, then only you can make use of this limits concept. Then only sungamsubstitute ku h o 0, but other than that, you have to do all your math, follow all your math rules in order to find yourself in a situation whereby lo h law egcine esukile. Okay, right, cool. So the first step la ngicatsi siyabona ukuthi ke we've got brackets, and ubomdas uthi asisusa ama brackets eqala before we can do anything else, right? So we're looking at our limit where h approaches 0. Okay, this will be equals to, so sobuyisa lo 4 wethu, and then we're going to be getting rid of our brackets. Okay, so times the negative 7 la ngaphakathi. So to accurately do that, siqala ama signs eqala. Negative times positive is negative ngoba ama signs afani. 7 times 1, which is here, is 7, and then we bring back the x. Okay, So answer is negative 7x, and then negative times positive over there is negative, then 7 times 1 lo lapho izuka h u7, and then we bring back our h. Then sizengala again, we've got brackets as well, so it's a negative 1 here, so negative times positive is negative, and then lo 1 ula times 4 is basically 4. All right, sizela negative times negative is positive, and then 1 times 7 is 7, then it's buise x, right? And then this is all over h, guys. Okay, that's yabona at this stage ukuthi we've got like terms. Okay, so let us get rid of them first. Okay, so siyabona ukuthi they've got a positive 4 la ozominusana naloya minus 4, sibe no negative 7x ozominusana naloya positive 7x, bese kusala ke our limit, right, where h approaches 0, okay, being equals to negative 7h all over h, guys. Okay, that's niyabona ukuthi at this stage here lo h lo divided lo h vele let's nobani no negative 7 as our final answer, guys. Okay, so asibanga khona ke isidingo sokuthi substitute h, because what happens is there was an auto elimination of h weight. Okay, so this brings us to the end of 7.1, and we've got our 4 marks in the bag. Okay, then we're going to then we are going to be moving on to 7.2. We are going to be moving on to 7.2. All right, determine dy over dx if y is equal to 4x exponent 8 plus square root of x cubed, guys. Okay, all right, cool. So let me just say this, guys. Okay, just to make sure we all understand the statement over here, ukuthi determine dy over dx, right? So it's lento ke kahle kahle thola a derivative, okay, ye equation yakho esilungisa in such a way that you know y being equals to something x ngaka, right? Okay, then once you've got that situation clear and straightforward, then conduct a derivative in that aspect then. Okay, so here we're going to be doing the standard and normal way of actually deriving. Okay, but again, equation need to say bona lapana ukuthi ithi y is equals to 4x exponent 8, okay, plus the square root of x cubed. Okay, square root of x cubed, guys. Okay, I do challenge you, Makai, guys, which you can pause the video at this stage, attempt it, okay, and then as soon as you're done, then you can actually proceed playing your video. All right, okay, asiqhubekeni, guys, right? So that's a kumbula ke before you actually conduct your derivative, okay, it's important for you to make sure that all your expressions having x as a format eti a x exponent n. So in other words, banana number ube no x raised to a specific exponent. So notice ke la ukuthi le component la iqaleni yona right. We've got a number, we've got x raised to an exponent, okay? However, la, there's still some work to be done la, okay, because I see it all in such a way that we've got a number, we've got x raised to, and then raised to an exponent. So it means we have to get rid of the square root sign over here. So let us do just that, okay? So it means no y weight is equal to 4x to the power 8, okay, and then plus. All right, so kumbula ke la from the laws of exponents ukuthi for the fact that it is square root, so it means la kunobani kuno 2 la, okay. Then to get rid of your square root, what you do is this 2 here can be made a denominator of the exponent that is found vele already laphana ku x. So in other words, ukuze ukhiphe le root sign le, what you're gonna do is then it means uzoshintsha nje leyanto leyana ibe x exponent 3 over 2, guys. Okay, so in other words, lo 2 lo uyehla abe laphana abe yini abe denominator. Okay, asiyabona ukuthi seku-right ke manje, we've got x, we've got exponent, we've got x, we've got exponent, then the constant yethu la 1, and then laphana 4 apparently. Then okay, we can do our derivative respectively, right? So therefore dy over dx will therefore be equals to, okay, so as it's exponent is multiplying our upon a constant, so 8 times 4, okay, is basically 32x raised to the power of, then city 8 again minus 1, that will be equals to 7 weight, okay. And then we come over here, 3 over 2 multiplied by positive 1, okay, being so no positive, 3 over 2, okay, x, and then 3 over 2 minus 1, siyazi ukuthi u3 over 2 u1.5, so means 1.5 minus u1 siyazi ukuthi uba loyo u-half i-answer after that. Okay, so your answer is good at this stage over here, right? But however, mufisa nje ukushow offer, you can actually do this as well. Dy over dx is therefore equals to, uthi nje 32 x raised to the power of 7 plus u3 over 2 root x. So vele uthathe leya 2 nje lana umbuyisele from a square root nature. Okay, you can just show both like this if you want to, but the answer is just acceptable at this stage. Okay, dengafuneki nje ukuba ukuthi ushiye answer yakho negative. That is exactly what we don't want. Okay, now so this brings us to the end of 7.2. Okay, you've got our 3 marks in the bag. We're therefore going to be moving on to 7.3. Okay, all right, so 7.3 is separated into 7.3.1 and 7.3.2. Okay, so we are given la, guys, ukuthi ke y is equals to ax squared plus a. This is exactly what we're given, right? And then 7.3.1 uthi ke determine dy over dx. Dy over dx, guys, right? Usiyazi ukuthi sithe thina dy over dx uthi bana ne-equation yakhe iqala ngo-y ngala bese konke okunye kube ukuthi kungaka right, and then emva kalapho enza i-derivative ku-x wakho for your answer. So that's why kuthiwa dy over dx. So in other words, if we do our derivative here, guys, okay, so qala siyi-check kuqala siyabona to know, man, everything is fine. So no a omele constant, and then it's no x raised to an exponent plus a constant. So there's no work to be done here in terms of making sure ukuthi equation yethu right. So therefore we can do dy over dx straight from here. So dy over dx will therefore be equals to, okay, so in this case sithatha ke intuzane yethu exponent yethu si multiply ne constant ngale. So in other words, soba no a times 2, siyazi ukuthi uba loyo u2a, and then la bese sithi ke 2 minus 1, and then bese ba 1 loyo. Should in other words soba no 2ax raised to an exponent of 1. Then siyazi ke lapha ukuthi a wethu umele ke i-variable. Sathi in variable is a symbol or a letter that represents an unknown number. Shuthi ke uma ukuthi ke une letter ethile, it means i-derivative yaleyo letter leyo kuba u0, because i-derivative ye-constant u0 kanti sithe i-variable isuke representa ini i-number. Therefore, so therefore 7.3.1 i-derivative yakhona ke izothi 2ax. Why? Because derivative ka a ubani u0. Okay, right, so as you can see 7.3.2. okay, so kuthiwa determine dy over dA. Okay, determine dy over dA, right? So ithini ke lena, guys, ithi ke bana ne-equation yakho whereby uno y is equals to, and then konkunye ngaka right, bese uyaderive u-a per se. Uderive bani u-a. So in other words, man, asaderive ku-x manje, sesiderive bani u-a esikhuleni sikabani esikwenza ukuderive u-x. Okay, so siyabona, okay, nanti equation yethu ithi y is equals to ax squared plus a respectively. Okay, in other words, sesiderive u-a ke manje instead of uderive bani u-x. Okay, right, cool. So ake senze, so therefore u-dy over dA kuzolingana nobani ke senze ke. So exponent yethu la kufanele ukuthi ubani u1 respectively. Okay, then siyathi ukuthi ke mesenza i-derivative ka 2x i-answer ubani u2. Ngobani sifike sithi lo 1 ola times 2 kuba u2, bese sithi 1 minus 1 kuba u0, and then anything raised to exponent of 0 is always 1. Bese uba 2 times 1 bese uba 2 i-answer. So ingakho ke mawukuthi mhlambe uno x futhi i-derivative ka x ubani u1 mawukuthi uderive in respect to x. Why? Because first it's 1 times 1 la kubo 1, and then 1 minus 1 u0, and then x to an exponent of 0 kubo bani kubo 1 lo, and then 1 times 1 kubo 1 again, guys. Okay, so why am I preparing you la? It's because ngifisa ukuthi sibuke nale aspect when it comes to this case, ukuthi siderive in respects to a. Okay, so maybe just to make it easy for you guys, athi ngithatha x squared la ngimbe ngale bese siyaderive ke. Therefore, so ake sithi nje uy wethu is equals to x squared a plus a, guys. Okay, so why am I doing this? It's because I just want to make it easy for you, okay, Then why can I do this as well? It's because siyazi ukuthi u2 times 3 kuse-6 kanti futhi u3 times 2 kuse-6. Okay, so it means noma ngaqala noma ngobani, as long as ngimultiplyana, it's still the same thing. So uma ubona x squared uyafana no x squared a. Okay, all right, cool. So I guess derive ke so soba no 1 times x squared kubo bani kubo x squared. Okay, then bese soba no 1 minus 1 la kubo 0, and then a to the exponent of 0 ubani loyo u1 loyo bese soba x squared times 1 bese soba x squared, and then sizingala, and then mis derive ke in respects to a, it means a uzosinikeza bani u1, because la bese derive according to x u-x usinikeza bani u1. So therefore soba x squared plus 1 as dy over dA, guys. All right, so I hope ukuzwakele. This brings us to the end of ubani 7.3.2, guys. Okay. All right, so let us look at 7.4. Okay, my favorite question. Okay, I kind of like these ones, equation of tangents and so forth, right? The curve with equation y is equals to x plus 12 over x passes through the point. Okay, so nakhe sinikeziwe ipointi elitholakala kule curve leli. Okay, leli point ama coordinates akhona athi 2 is to b. Okay, sazi thina sibona ama coordinates njalo shuthi sibona ini u-x nobani no-y. So in other words, kuleli pointi basitshela u-x but bathi u-y wethu u-b respectively. Determine the equation of the line perpendicular to the tangent to the curve at A. Okay, right. So to this respective curve, right? So sine point elu A, right? And then kule point elu A kune tangent ekuba ukuthi ithinta le point elu A. But abafuna i-equation yaleyo tangent leyo. Bafuna i-equation yolayini onjani o perpendicular to this tangent, guys. Okay, so this is a little bit interesting. Okay, so right, cool. So yini ke siyaziyo when it comes to equations of lines. Okay, siyazi ukuthi equation yanoma imuphi layini, okay, is expressed as y is equals to mx plus c, guys. Okay, and then because bashilo la vele ukuthi equation yoline lo abakhuluma ngaso, so should not equation yethu will come in this format. So into esidingayo ke in this case ukuze sibe na equation sidinga number 1 i-gradient, sidinga number 2 i-value ka c. Okay, so to get i-value ka c we need at least one point, okay, on this line. Okay, khona mesina lo point lelo on this line here, it means sobe sesino y sibe no bani futhi sibe no x. So once analoko, the second thing we need is i-gradient yethu. Then i-gradient yethu izongena esikhundleni sika m. Okay, and then we're going to use i-point ne-gradient to find the value of c. Then once ane-gradient sano c, then equation sisokwazi ukuyibhala in the format of y is equals to sifaka i-gradient yethu la sithi x plus sifaka c laphana kuphi ekugcineni, guys. Okay, right, cool. So siyazi ke thina ke in this case ukuthi ke vele when it comes to our principles of calculus, siyazi ukuthi ke i-derivative, okay, is actually equals to a gradient. All right, and siyakhona ukuthola i-derivative at a point using ke i-concept yethu yokuthatha x simsubstitute to a derivative of that particular function esisuke sinayo okanye i-curve esisuke sinayo. Kusho ukuthini ke lokho na? Kusho ukuthi because tshele ukuthi ke sine point elu a elitholakala kule curve le. Okay, so it means singayithola i-gradient, right, of a tangent to this curve. All right, so ithola kanjani na? Ngokuthi ke senze i-derivative, okay, bese ke si equate ne-gradient, because siyazi ukuthi i-derivative ihlezi ilingana nani ne-gradient when it comes to our functions. All right, okay, cool. So therefore to do that, therefore we'll have to do dy over dx of that particular equation. All right, but siyanotisa ke la ukuthi equation yethu sinikezwe in the form of y is equals to x plus u12 over x respectively. All right, but then siyabona ke la ukuthi ke equation yethu asinayo in such a way that i-representation yakhona ithi axn for everybody, ax to the power of n for everybody. So therefore siyabona ukuthi yilo esafene simhlele ukuthi abe kanje iqala, then only we can start deriving because lo right vele. So it means soba no y is equals to x plus. So mesishintsha lona guys ngicatha yakhumbula ukuthi sithatha u-x lo suke e-denominator simnyuse ayohlala nani ayohlala ne-numerator respectively according to the laws of exponents bese shintshisana mefika phezulu. So soba no 12 x exponent minus 1. Okay, so once wanjena ke guys we good to go. So no x exponent yakhona i-constant u-x exponent yakhona, so sesingaderive ke here. So dy dx walaphayana will therefore be equals to, sazi ukuthi derivative ka x ubani u1, okay, and then la soba no negative 1 multiplied by positive 12, okay, ama signs awafani, so soba no negative 12 x to the power, and then laphana bese get negative 1 minus 1 uba loyo negative 2 guys, okay. So as with derivative yethu asiyishiye, so we're just going to take lo x lo simbuyisele ezantsi la asuka khona exponent yakhe izoba positive. So dy dx wethu, okay, ulingana noba no 1 minus 12 over x squared guys, okay. So nansi i-derivative yethu, right. But because siyazi ukuthi i-derivative iyalingana ne-gradient and siyakhola ukuthola i-gradient ye-tangent to a particular point ngokuthi sithathe u-x wethu esuke sinawo at that point la kuthinta khona i-tangent ihlangana ne-curve yethu, sithathe u-x walapho simfake ku-equation yethu bese siyathola isi-gradient sikubani lapho, okay, right. Because siyazi ukuthi u-dy over dx uyalingana ne-gradient ezolingana no 1 minus 12 over, siyazi ukuthi u-x ke at this point la khona i-curve ethinta laphana iyobani u2 all squared, right. So this will be equals to 1 minus 12 over and then 2 squared uba loyo u4, okay. So therefore u12 divided by 4 u3 loyo, and then 1 minus 3 ubani answer u-negative 2 respectively, okay. Now ithini ke lento le ithi i-tangent yethu towards le curve le ine-gradient eyobani ewu-minus 2, right. However abafune i-equation ye-tangent kodwa ke bafuna i-equation yolayini o-perpendicular to this tangent, okay. So yini ke siyaziyo ke ngoline aba-perpendicular, siyazi ukuthi ke from knowledge yethu ye-analytical geometry uma ngabe ufuna i-gradient yolayini osuku-perpendicular to omunye ulayini, what you do is uthi okay mawukuthi we've got two lines naba, line A no line B, right, line A no line B, bese uyatshela ukuthi ke i-gradient yalo line lo probably mhlambe let us look at this one here ongathi ubheka mama phansi, gradient yalo line lo ubheka mama phansi u-minus 2. So to get gradient yalo munye line o-perpendicular to yena, you take your gradient, thatha i-numerator yakho uyenze i-denominator yenze numerator but change sign. So le gradient le ewu-minus 2 should minus 2 over 1. So in other words masifuna i-gradient yoline o-perpendicular to lo line lo, so ke i-gradient yawo will therefore be equals to, thatha i-denominator senze numerator sibe no 1 over i-numerator senze denominator over 2, then isine kade u-minus but then sobobani sizoba plus ke guys, okay. So ngicathi ke niyabona kusisize kanjani ukuthi siqale ngokuthi sithole i-gradient of i-tangent to this curve bese siyasuka ke with the gradient of i-tangent to this curve bese sithola ke i-gradient yalo line osuku perpendicular using le concept le yokuthi ke more times ama gradient yo line aba perpendicular i-answer kubobani kuba u-1, okay, right, cool. So ngicathi niyabona ukuthi manje sesisesimeni la khona sino y is equals to half x plus c guys, okay, right, cool. Asinothisa ukuthi ke la sinobani sinayo x because leli point leli it's the same point elithintwa ilo line lo o-perpendicular to le tangent because bayasho ukuthi to the curve at A, to the curve at A. So it means leli point leli siyakhona ukusebenza ngalo la ama coordinates akhona sifaka y akhona x akhona ukuthola u-c because lo line lo perpendicular uthinta to the curve at A, nale tangent futhi ithinta to the same point at A futhi as well, right. So therefore yini ke siyaziyo ke thina ngama coordinates, right. Siyazi ukuthi njalo mesibona ama coordinates uke sibona x sibona no y, And uma ngabe ke kuukuthi une equation buse uyatshela ukuthi une point etholakala to that particular equation, you can find the missing coordinates mawuthi unikezwe lodwa ngokuthi uthathe lele lodwa ulisubstitute to your equation. So therefore singamthola ku y at this point siyazi ukuthi sishada ngobani ngo-y o-b, okay? So it means u-y wethu u-b, so what you're going to do is you're just going to say b is equals to, because lasibona khona u-y sifakele u-b is equals to, then lasibona khona u-x sofakele u-2 is equals to 2, all right, plus, okay, u-12 over 2, guys. This will be equals to u2 plus, and then u12 divided by 2 uba loyo u6, and therefore u-b wethu will actually be equals to 80, and lo-b wethu uyini u-y respectively. So sisinawo ama-coordinates ka-a, athi nama-coordinates a athi 2 is to 8, guys. Alright, so sesi-right ke sithe sidinga ini i-coordinate elilodwa, sidinga nani ne-gradient. So sinayo i-gradient itholile, alright, sizothola ini ke manje i-value ka-c ukuthi sifakele ama-coordinates ethu esikhweni sa-y nobani no-x. So in other words sizoba ke no-8 is equals to 1 over 2 into, lasibona khona x wethu sifakela u2, okay, plus c, guys. And this will be 8, okay, which is equals to, and then half times 2, 1 loyo, plus c. We transpose 1 to the other side, khona sosolve for c, then sibe no 8 minus 1 is equals to c, and then c wethu ubani u7, guys. All right, so sesinayo ku-c, sesinayo gradient, so it means sesingayibhala ini equation yethu respectively. All right, I'm just going to write it in red, okay, over here. So it's to y is equals to 1 over 2 x plus 7, guys. Okay, beautiful. So this brings us to the end of our preparation question, okay, of our practice question from one examination, okay. So I hope you guys did learn a thing or two, all right, and I hope you guys are actually getting value and niyasizakala emakhaya. All right, so if kukuthi khona i-section okanye ingxenye ongayizwanga, okay, feel free to ask me in the comment section below, okay. Then again, guys, ngiyacela ukuthi sishareishe this information, these problems which are solved lana in our channel. Ikhona sizosiza nabanye abafundi, ikhona sizosiza abanye abafundi ukuthi nabo bakhone ukupasa in mathematics, okay. But other than that, until we meet again in our next lesson, goodbye for now.